The Rare Perfection 10-year Kentucky Straight Bourbon has been getting some wonderful reviews. It seems like it's going to be on a lot of people's top whiskeys of the year list. But can it be one of the best and one of the most consistently great 10-year bourbons released each year? Which is this, the Michter's 10-year single barrel bourbon. So today I'm going to let you know two things. First, if both of these were sitting on the shelf at their retail price of $200 and you can only buy one, which one should you get? Which one is the better 10-year bourbon? And second, and most importantly, are these even gonna be worth $200? I mean, I'm gonna have a sip of both or a couple of pours of both and let you know, is it even worth the price tag? And if they are, and of course with these being so hard to find at retail price, what's the maximum price I'll pay for each of these? So let's get to it right now.
Oh yeah.
Welcome to Whispering. My name is David. The Michter's 10-year single barrel bourbon has been sort of an anomaly in the bourbon universe because it comes in a really high retail price of $200. And it's been that way for years, right? Even back in 2021, I guess they didn't make a release in 2022, but 2023, $200 bourbons were kind of hard to find. Even the Buffalo Trace Antique Collection, their retail price, of course these are hard to find at that price, but still, they're like $150, $180. This one has a very relatively low age statement of 10 years. And it also comes in a very low proof of 94.4, and yet at $200, it sells out. It is one of the most popular bourbons out there. And that's why it's consistently known as probably the best 10-year bourbons to be released each year, every single year. And fast forward to 2026, well, unfortunately, bourbons that cost $150, $200, $300 are now sort of a commonplace. And this Rare Perfection 10-year is no exception. Yes, it's Kentucky Straight Bourbon whiskey. Yes, it does come in a higher proof of 129.2, at least mine does. But a 10-year age-dated bourbon coming in at $200. I'll be honest with you, this wasn't on my radar. And then I saw great review after great review after great review. I'm like, damn, do I really need to get one? And so luckily, I was able to find one at the retail price. Now, one of my surprises is the fact that they do have different lots or different batches. Mine is lot number 3, again coming in at 129.2 proof. I see some that doesn't have a lot number that comes at 130 plus proof, and I see some that's even lower at 127 proof. So it seems like there's different batches out there, but all the reviews, they've been fantastic. So I'm pretty sure this one's gonna be wonderful as well. But the more interesting part is there's actually a lot of similarities between these two 10-year bourbons. That's not just the price. First, we have no idea where these come from. Michter's, this is not their distillery. It is a sourced bourbon, but we don't know any idea. We don't know the mash bill. We don't even know if it's wheated. We have zero idea what is actually inside this thing, except for that it's Kentucky Straight Bourbon whiskey. There's a lot of rumors that it's Brown-Forman or Old Forester, bourbons, but again, those are rumors. It's never been confirmed. Same thing here. The Rare Perfection 10-year, it just says Kentucky Straight Bourbon whiskey. We have no idea. One of the things that I think Fred Minnick said is that it's a traditional bourbon mash bill, so we know that it's corn, rye, and malted barley. And that's it. We don't know the percentages. We don't know where it's at. A lot of people who've tasted it say they think it's Heaven Hill Distillate, but again, that's just wild guesses. And so, mystery 10-year bourbons coming at a high price, but both, again, a lot of people love. Well, which one is gonna be the best tasting 10-year bourbon of 2026? Well, I can't answer that question just by talking. So no more, it's bourbon time. Ooh. Nice. All right, these have been opening up for about 10 minutes, so they're ready to go. So first, I'm gonna start with the lower proof one, the Michter's 10-year bourbon. Oh, and just for notice, this is barrel number 26B, which I heard is a really good one. So hopefully those rumors are also true. Well, here we go. First, the nose. Now, I can see why people think this might be a brown ferment distillate. This nose is just banana split all day. You get the banana, but you get that vanilla, strawberry, chocolate, ice cream type of just sweetness coming straight up to your nose. Wow! Nose is, well, it's a great bourbon. But of course, the palate is where it's gonna make it exceptional bourbon. So here we go. Cheers, guys. A lot of people believe that the Michter's 10-year bourbon is a lot older, that they're just kind of not lazy, but they don't want to go through the cost and the trouble to relabel every single barrel 10, 11, 12, and they think that maybe they'll leave up some barrels because some is labeled 14 age, some is labeled 12 age, and they didn't want to go through that. They just want to be, hey, here's at least 10-year aged bourbons. That is absolutely fantastic. And you know what? I believe them. This has to be older than 10 years. I mean, it might be just 10 years, but wow, that oak, that darkness, this stuff I get from 13, 15, 17-year aged whiskeys. Rarely from 10 years, especially with this type of low proof, right? At 94.4, you would think probably won't get that much oak. No, you get a burst of oak. Whoa, this is nice. And one of the best parts of having it at a lower proof, you can take your time. You can take it a little slow. You can put it in your mouth, you know, put it all around your tongue. Make sure it coats everything. Try to find every single note because the burn isn't there. And I get, of course, the caramel, the vanilla, a little bit of, let's say like an orange, but a little bit sweeter, like a strawberry orange type of feel. And then the finish. This is where it shines. Right when it hits right in that mid throat to the back, you get that nice, dark, sweet, bitter oak that, again, I think is what makes bourbon great. That oak, that darkness, that oak sweetness, bitterness is just something I don't get in single malts or scotch, just because of how they're made and because they're in second, third fills, right? This one with the new charred oak barrels, that's where that finish shines. That's where that oak just comes in and says, I'm a well-aged, mature bourbon that you're gonna love. And you know what? I'm falling in love. And on the fourth and fifth sips, I get a little bit more of the dark chocolate, milk chocolate type of sweetness going around. Ooh, man. This is why, even at the low age stated at 10 years, at the low proof, it's consistently loved, it's consistently rated high. This Michter's 10-year, awesome. Now on to the Rare Perfection 10-year. I'm gonna be honest, I am looking forward to this because, again, the great reviews that I've seen make it seem like this is one of the best bourbons they had in a while. And so, yeah, I'm really curious, how can Rare Perfection do this? Well, we'll find out. First, the nose. Nose is absolutely sweet. It's the definition of a creme brulee nose. It's just that burnt brown sugar, the vanilla, it's just all of that in a nose. And so, ooh, nose is sweet. So that makes me absolutely excited for the palate. So let's get to it. Cheers, guys. I think people are right. Oh my God. If you told me, you gave me this pour and told me that it's a 10-year aged willet, I would 100% believe you. This has that spice, that willet trademark spice, right? It's not like pepper spice. It's not cinnamon spice. It's this, I don't want to say mint spice, but it's that surrounding your mouth with this sweet spice that just kind of coats everywhere, but it's a great feeling. It's that bourbon feel, that bourbon spice that I only get from high aged Willets. Now, I haven't had that many Willets. Actually, the only Willets I had were actually samples. And so maybe, you know, I'm not too familiar with them, but whatever that was, this reminds me of it. Huh, this is why people love this. Interesting. And then on the third and fourth pours, once the shock of that beautiful spice kind of, you get used to it and you try to find some other notes, you get that caramel, the creme brulee sweetness with a lot of the strawberry jam right here. So you get that burst of spice, then you get that thick sweetness, and then down here you get that strawberry, raspberry type of tart sweetness. Huh. We'll say, this is why people love it. Wow. And then the mouthfeel on this is fantastic. It feels like it's coating everywhere. It's oily, it's viscous. All right, well, both are really tasty bourbons. And at 200 bucks, they better freaking be. But to let you know which one's the better bourbon, I'm gonna go back and forth, take my sweet time, and let you know in a couple of seconds which one is the better bourbon. That was a great time of just drinking two wonderful bourbons for about 10 minutes. So after all that, after drinking, going back and forth, which one is the better bourbon? If both were sitting at MSRP in front of your face for 200 bucks, which one is the one you should buy? The Rare Perfection 10-year. I am surprised just as much as you are. And I'll go over the reasons why and, you know, are these worth even the $200 price point? So first, let's go over the Michters. So even though today it, I guess, lost to a certain extent, it's still a great bourbon. I enjoyed it, especially at 94 proof. You get to enjoy every aspect of a 10-year bourbon, or, you know, forget the 10-year. You get to enjoy every aspect of bourbon in this pour because of the lower proof, but because of the higher age, you're able to play around with it. You're able to find little nooks and crannies of flavor that you can't get from this just because of the burn. And so I immensely enjoy it. But today, in 2006, would I buy this bourbon for $200? Is it worth the price point? No, it's not. I think one of the better ones these days that I've tasted is probably gonna be the Jack Daniel's 12-year. Now, I only had a sample of the batch 4 that came out this year, and it is a fantastic bourbon. And that one is what, MSRP of 100? And of course, if you consider secondary, this is still higher. But I would take the Jack 12-year over this. I think it has a similar profile of the brown format distillate. Again, this one's rumored to be it, but it has that certain profile. And it just, the 12 brings a little bit more oakiness, a little bit more sweetness, a little bit more fun to it. While this is a great bourbon, but you really have to look for that palate. You really have to just go all in and kind of leave it in your mouth for like a minute, 2 minutes in order to kind of find all the flavors. And that's fun for about a pour or two, but I could see why this is gonna be a little bit lacking, especially when you do those top whiskeys of the year. And at 200 bucks, that's the class that I'm comparing it to. So if I had to do this again, would I buy it for 200 bucks? I guess yes, just because I'd like to try it. But once I finish this bottle and another one is sitting in front of my face, I don't think I would replace the 26B barrel. Now, on to the Rare Perfection 10-year. Is this worth $200? It is. The only time you can get something like this is a Willet 8. I think I had a sample of the 8, 9, 10 year. Again, I don't even remember what they were called. It was a while ago. But that special type of sweetness, that special type of spice that not only, but I usually get from Willet, really good Willet bourbons, I got from this. And it coming in at 200 bucks, it's the only way you can get that type of feel. It is kind of expensive. It is not cheap, but damn, If you told me I can get a Willet 10-year bourbon at 129 proof for 200 bucks, people will be lining up for it. And so I think this is that barrel that you can get, or not barrel, but this is the only whiskey that you can get that gives you that similar type of feel. So $200 is worth it. So now that it's worth it, what's the maximum I'll pay for it? That's a better question, just because, what's the max I'll pay for this? The max I'll pay for this is $250 plus tax. So, I mean, I guess that's fine, but I find some Willets for $300-400 that's 8-10 years old. So I don't buy those. And so I don't think I would buy this for $300-400 bucks. So that leaves it around $250 at the most. I think it's a great experience. I think it's fun. It's great. So it is probably gonna be in my whiskey of the year contender list. We'll see what the remaining whiskeys are. But man, especially when you have this back to back, the Michter's 10 is lacking behind. And you could say, well, of course, because of proof. Well, at 200 bucks, I don't care what proof it is. It better be good on its own. And unfortunately, today, it just didn't stand up to the Rare Perfection 10-year. So let me know in the comments, are you excited for the Michter's 10-year or the Rare Perfection 10? And if you had both of these, which one did you prefer? Thank you so much. I'll see you guys next time.